This is Torian with Positive Impact. I'm a future generator, here to help you generate the future of your choosing. I got a question for you. Got a real heavy question to lay on you. The question is this: why do religions fight against each other? Why do religions fight against each other? Why? Is it based on a decision like who's gonna make it? Who's the chosen ones? Is that why they fight? Whose land belongs to whom? Who deserves to be top dog in society? Is that why religions fight? You can attribute some of the causes of religious wars to the following categories. Sure. But what's the root of it? What's the root cause? Why do religions fight for real? What makes them beef? What makes them take it to the level where they're killing one another? Here's the answer to it. It's real simple. They're fighting over who God is. That's all it's about. Who God is. Some are saying he's this person, that person, this entity, that entity. They're fighting over who God is. Some people say they are God. Some are saying that God is, a man. Who is God? That's what people are fighting over. People are getting killed over who God is. That's what they've been doing since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of civilization, since the beginning of people. Who God is, that's what they've been fighting over. And the reason why there's war over the issue of who God is because as a human race, we have to ask a higher quality question. Not who God is, but what God is. We have to look at the what. The who is getting us killed. So we have to start focusing on what. Maybe even where. Maybe even why. But this who thing is not working. Webster's dictionary has the definition of God as absolute power. And I can live with that. Absolute power. Because that means that all the power there is of God. The way you use it determines whether or not you're good or evil, but you have power by default. Whether you're a man, an angel, an animal, you have power because God is the all in all. Absolute power. There's nothing living or inanimate that is without power. It takes molecules and atoms to hold together things that apparently don't have breath in them, like a chair, a building. Yeah, sure. I mean, the stones aren't crying out at you now, but it doesn't mean they're not alive. What is God? He is absolute power. You can say it, I suppose. I happen to be a follower of the scriptures, so I embrace God like a who. I embrace him as the spirit who created everything, who decided to live within me, inside of me, just like every other person. And I use the scriptures to learn the characteristics that are attributed to what God does. And I just try to follow in those footsteps. Because based on what I follow out of the Bible, I'm just trying to be like him in terms of the descriptions that he gives of his son, like compassion, being a wonderful counselor, being a teacher, being a person with power, being a person who can work miracles, trying to follow in the path of his son. And I'm not focused on who, because who is a very hard question. Ask Moses. He said, well, who do I call you? He said, just tell the people that I am sent me to you. That's hard to embrace. And that's going to take a whole nother video for me to talk about the I amness of God and how you and him are interchangeable, because he's the all in all, and there's no one or nothing that exists outside of him, making you him and him you, but you be an expression of him. That's a whole different breakdown, because that does deal with the who, but that's too heavy to get into right now. We need to focus on the what, because the what is what's going to help us display the characteristics of God. Absolute power involves compassion. Absolute power involves forgiveness. Absolute power involves creativity. Absolute power involves love. Absolute power involves consistency. Absolute power involves generosity. Absolute power involves sovereignty. Absolute power involves maturity. Absolute power involves focus. Absolute power involves determination. Absolute power involves faith. Absolute power involves belief. Absolute power involves wonder. Absolute power is all that power is. It is absolute. Power is in a star. Power is in a thought. Power is in a feeling. Power is in a plant. Power is in a blade of grass. Power is in a stone. Power is even in those people we judge. They have power too. How they use it determines where they fall on the scale. So that's it. Stop focusing on the who. Focus on the what, because the what is going to help you display the what, thereby making you worthy to find out who he is. Again, this is Torian with Positive Impact. Appreciate you for listening. Happy existence, people. Once again, if you have any questions or want to go deeper with a one-on-one consultation, I do offer those. Just hit me up, supertsigma@gmail.com.